Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest celebrity news, reality TV, Jeff Lewis Live. Happy Friday. Okay, so we have Xfinity for internet. What was I doing this? Oh, the first way I knew, I went to drop off 2 packages at the post office, and my daughter had sold some shirts, she had sold some of her Lululemon. So she sends me the little QR code, and now you can give that to the guy at the post office or girl, and they will print the sticker off real quick. You just have to bring it in the package already wrapped up. So I had 2 little packages real quick. I was coming home from seeing my mentee for the last day of her 5th grade. It's not the last day of her 5th grade. It's the last time I get to see her, because next week is the last week and I will be gone for my daughter's college graduation. So anyways, and after that, we can't see our mentees anymore. So I won't see her again until she's in 6th grade. So I'm driving home from that, stop off at the post office to mail these 2 packages for my daughter. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, we can't, our internet's down. I thought, oh, okay. So I thought I'll just go home, print them out myself, and drive them back up to the post office. And then I can just put them in this bin without even waiting in line or anything. I get home, my sister-in-law had texted me. Now the text went, again, I didn't know anywhere was having a problem. I thought this was the post office internet was messed up. And they're about 2.5 miles from my house. So when I got home, I didn't even think anything about our internet. My sister-in-law sends me a text trying to show me these really cute banquet, centerpieces that she had made for her daughter's school. And I could see the text and I could see that she had sent pictures, but I couldn't open the pictures up. They weren't coming across. And so I told her, I said, oh, my internet's being weird. And she's like, oh, it's out everywhere. There's a problem. And I'm like, what happened? I'm like, well, that's weird. Like, if there was worldwide internet outage, my husband would have texted me and said, oh my gosh, this happened or whatever. But I guess it was an Xfinity thing only, because then I saw on our local Talk of Pearland or whatever they were talking about, saying that it was only Xfinity. So was it just us? Was it just Xfinity? Was it all over the world? The country? I mean, is Xfinity even all over the world? Maybe just the country? Maybe just the US? Anyways, thank y'all so much for the compliments. I did put makeup on this morning. I flat ironed the hair. Of course, I'm wearing my lace-up supportive tennis shoes with this dress, which is so lame. I'd much rather be wearing some little slip-on sandals or something cute. But no. My feet are feeding, and there's no way I can wear that kind of thing. I'm already stressing over what kind of shoes I'm going to wear for my daughter's college graduation and then her party. Anyways, we just got a tornado warning also. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? I didn't even know we were going to have bad weather. I mean, of course, they're being a little dramatic. It's like in the yellow rain. Well, like not even the yellow color, whatever that is. Anyways, thank you for joining over on TikTok. Please tap the screen. I would very much appreciate it. If you want to get in comments, join us over on my YouTube channel at Sarah from Texas Podcast. So let's get started. Y'all are so sweet. Thank you. Yes, it's our first college graduation of the family. And later in December this year, we will have our second one graduating with her master's program. Both of them already have amazing jobs. I mean, this is actually a dress. So it's a big, long, I've had it for years now. It's a big, like a baby doll dress, very comfortable. So it's not from Marshall's. This is probably, I think this is from Impeccable Pig, one of those boutiques that my daughter worked at it for a little bit while she was at University of Georgia. I think her second year, last year she worked there. Now she's already doing part-time work for the job that she has full-time starting this summer in sales. Anyways, yeah, be safe for sure with the tornado warning. So, and we don't get, I'm in South Texas, we don't get tornado warnings or anything. There's no like siren or anything, you know what I mean? So I don't know how we would ever know. So those kind of scare me because they just come up so And we get tornadoes that spawn off of hurricanes. So I'm used to hurricane warnings, all of that, the hurricane watches, get your water, get your food, all that things. But tornadoes can spawn off of hurricanes too. So it's kind of just crazy. Oh my goodness. Wait, what's going on? Tiva Tamba says the bottom just fell out here. Oh, does that mean rain? Okay. I was like, what does that mean? Thank you, Teresa, for being number 33. There's over 100 people already on YouTube. So please make sure to hit the thumbs up button whenever you come on. I would very much appreciate it. Oh, someone's already saying that the second hour was hectic. I don't know. I thought the first hour was kind of hectic of Jeff Lewis Live. We will chat about it in a second. We're going to chat about the Chump Con friendships that are on the line. We're going to talk about the word that Jeff hates. Oh my gosh, all the things. But let's get into it first. First of all, I'm having a great day. You know why? Because I just found out. So earlier this week, as you know, I went to the podiatrist again and to see what's going on with this foot pain that started on Sunday. Now I know it's just the bunion finally bunioning and like really saying, girl, you got to do this surgery. Like, stop waiting until September, stop waiting until after the vacations and after everything works out perfectly for you. We are going to cause you so much pain to where you're walking awkwardly, to where you're hurting your right hip, to where you're hurting your right knee. We're going to do all the things to make you push up this surgery, which I did. But when I went to the doctor, they said, oh, we showed that you've already met your deductible and your bill is only $11. Well, I was like, oh, it's only, I guess it was the end of April the other day. And I was like, I've already met my deductible. Like, geez, our deductible's $8,100. So I didn't think we'd met the deductible yet. But when I check online through our insurance, it gives you like this sliding scale. It says I still owe like $4,000 towards my deductible. So I have no idea what's going on. But then I thought, well, you're the one saying I've already met my deductible. So let's see if I can get a prescription at a good price. So sure enough, I get on and I check Linzess, my poop medicine, right? This is a prescription medicine that I've been on and off again for years. It's extremely expensive. Like $14 a day with insurance, with the little coupon that they give you, which I don't think took hardly anything off. Anyways, it was $35 when I picked it up. So I called my pharmacist and I said, hey, I had to leave a voicemail. I said, hey, I had this prescription recently because they need to bump me up again. I was on the highest dose. And before the weight loss medication, it was giving me one extreme of diarrhea every morning. And I'm like, that's disgusting. Don't want to do that. Don't need to potty that badly. Well, now that I'm on the weight loss medication, he bumped me down to the lowest dosage, which I think is 145 mgs, whatever that is, MCGs, whatever it is on Linzess. And it's not doing anything. I'm back to as if I wasn't on any medication at all. So he had given me the new prescription, but I was like, well, I've already still got these other ones and it's $1,200. Yes. $1,260 for a prescription. And I think that's whether it's 30-day or 90-day. Luckily, our insurance requires 90-day now. So I did get 3 months worth out of it. But he verified, oh, I do see this. You didn't pick it up. I'm like, yeah, because I can't afford it. Like, Jesus Christ, that's a lot of money to go poop. And so he said, yeah, we can pick this up and your cost will be $35. So that proves to me, because with this medication, I have to meet my deductible. Once I meet the deductible, then it's $35. So much more doable, right? So that means every doctor's appointment, every blood work, every lab, everything, this surgery, everything our family does for the rest of the year, it will already be met our deductible. So it's not 100%, but it's at least way better for sure. Wait, what? Oh, it's a crazy weather day for Teresa too. She said her radio weather alert is screaming. Yeah, definitely pay attention to that for sure. Hope everybody stays safe for sure. What else? Oh, I love Christina. Wait a minute. I love that. Christina says, I'm having a sunny, beautiful weekend weather, and it's about time. I love that. You deserve all the good weather for sure. What I deserve this weekend is some time with some Houston area chumpettes. I'm so excited. So, a couple of years ago, we had the idea, and I said, hey, does anyone live in Houston? Anyone want to meet up? Well, about 4 or 5 said they would meet up, but at the end of the day, one person showed up, Kim, and I've remained friends with her ever since. We had dinner twice a few weeks ago, 2 different times. Anyways, but now, I don't know, about 3 to 5 of us get together, every, 2 or 3, 4 months, what have you, and just gab. Sometimes new people come, sometimes the same people come. It is so fun, and that is tomorrow. So if you or another chumpette that lives in the Houston area, we're actually going to be in Pearland. The location is in the Sarah from Texas Facebook group. If for some reason you're not on Facebook, email me and ask me where it's at. I'll be happy to tell you. It's not a secret. I just don't want to, but it's Saturday, May 3rd at 1 p.m. We will be there. Even Veronica's flying in from Dallas because she's a flight attendant. So I'm going to pick her up from the airport because I've met her several times. She's nice and normal. So I'm very excited for that. But yeah, I will have my tennis shoes on. And most days I don't wear a gingham dress, most of the time I love being in my gym clothes, my shorts, going to the gym, going on a walk, dressing for the gym, whatever. But since I'm resting my feet like crazy, I figured today that I would wear a real dress and fix my hair and do my makeup. So yeah, I'm wearing like Adidas. I don't know what they're called. Adidas Clouds or something. I don't know what they're called. Some sort of, all I know is my podiatrist wants me, and all of my tennis shoes are not bendable. They want very sturdy, solid tennis shoes that lace up. You know what I mean? So, Yvonne Gal says, watch the weather. Texas in particular, Houston is in for wild weather this weekend. Well, luckily I drive a tall Suburban, so I should be okay. But yeah. Oh, I have not. Teresa says, have you ever tried acupuncture for your constipation? No, but I promise you, nothing works on me. When I tell you nothing, you know what I mean? Well, Kimberly J says, white little sneakers would look great with that dress, and custom orthotics fit in any sneakers. I've had custom orthotics. I've had them. They were $500 15 years ago. They did not work. Trust me. They did not work. And they were custom from the podiatrist. Anyways, but my poop pill is now, if I did the math, y'all, I was paying $14 a day was how much that prescription cost me. Now it is, what do I do? Math is hard. Do I do 30? If it costs $35 for 90 pills, do I do 35 divided by 90? 38 cents? Or do I do 90 divided by 35, which is $2.57? I don't know which it is. I hope it's 38 cents. Which is it? Oh, Carly is starting Wegovy on Monday. How exciting. Oh, does your insurance cover it? I hope so. That's the one I was on for a month. So honestly, most people do better on a tirzepatide, which the brand name for that one is Zepbound, unless you have diabetes, which would be Mounjaro. Anyways, not to confuse you, but basically Wegovy is the brand name for semaglutide. And semaglutide in general has less effectiveness and more side effects. Not on everyone, obviously, but that's the general synopsis of tirzepatide versus semaglutide. So anyways, I hope you do well on Wegovy. I had some faint headaches and had a very fast heartbeat. Not for me. So I went off of that, and now I'm on compounded tirzepatide and have had zero side effects at all. Oh my gosh, Kimberly J is already down 15 pounds. I love it. I'm kind of at a stall. I weighed myself yesterday. I've lost 3 pounds in 2 weeks. So if I look at it in the bigger picture terms, I am losing weight. I'm definitely not a fast loser. I'm definitely a slow responder, as the Facebook group calls it. But I'm pretty much the same as last week. So I maybe kind of went up a pound, lost a pound. You know what I mean? I don't know. Jen Helen says, can you be covered by Zepbound now? My insurance covers it and I only pay $25 a month. I mean, I think so. I don't know. Zepbound. They gave me Wegovy was the first thing that my doctor gave me. But like I said, now I'm going through a compound. I was also super nervous because when I was trying to get it in December and then January, you know, my CVS had given it to another patient that picked it up faster than me. Then I had to switch over my prescription to Walmart. Well, our Walmart at least doesn't have a drive-through. You have to physically go inside, and it's like 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. It's, you know, the hours are a little more stricter. So I just thought I'm going to do this whenever I can do it and have it mailed to me. It's just easy. My husband gives me the shot. It's definitely easy. It's not a matter, Jen says, what insurance. It's not your insurance. It's what your particular insurance provider decides to cover and what costs they decide to pay stuff. So it's not like, oh, if you have Aetna, this is covered. Oh, if you have United Healthcare, if you have TRICARE, you know, whatever. It's a matter of what your company or whoever provides your insurance with, what their stuff is. And you can usually look it up online and see what it is. So anyways, but all my links, I have a referral link. It is available on all of my link trees for Mochi Health, and that's the one that I use. I've been nothing but happy with it. I love my doctor. I love the nutritionist, and there's a link there to use the referral, and you will save $40 off, and I will also get $40 off my medication if you sign up from using that link. And you can click on that link and like 2 minutes, and it'll not even, 30 seconds, put in some information and it'll tell you if you qualify for, you know, getting medication through them. They take insurance and they do self-pay. So I like that if I switch over to insurance one day, they also take my insurance. So anyways, I have not upped my dosage at all. I might next month, but I just got my medicine in this week. So I've got 4 more weeks of it. I've been on the lowest dose of compounded tirzepatide, which I think is 2.5. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at my little thing. But yeah, anyways, it does. Krista says it also matters how overweight you are. Yes, because, you know, if you're 10 or 15 pounds overweight, you probably don't qualify as being overweight. You know what I mean? I guess depending on, I don't know. So yeah. Yeah, Vivonics are a really good brand. I haven't used them in forever, except for these flip-flops that I used to have, but I'm out. I can't even wear flip-flops anymore. My feet are so bad. So for everyone, I love y'all. Y'all give me the best advice. I got a couple of emails over the last day or two. You can always email me at asksarahfromtexas@gmail.com. You can email me anything. You can send me a message on Instagram. But I promise I'm going to see the email first, probably, because I get less emails than I do Instagram messages. But one person was like, look, I had the bunion surgery. I really recommend it. It's about a 6 weeks recovery in a boot. So you're not going to be happy about that. But she said that she swam. She even did some exercises with upper body that a few of y'all have told me. So y'all's encouragement, y'all's experience is really helping me. And I called my podiatrist office today and I switched my appointment. I will now be having surgery on June 12th. So yes, I'm going to do it. I had to wait until then because my daughter's graduating college. And then a few weeks later, we're hosting a college graduation party for her. So I have to be on my feet for all of that. So anyways, yes, the sandals are super cute. Yes, I definitely had to do that for sure. Wait, you're scared? Kimberly J says, stop it. I'm now frightened of QVC. I can see me having an issue, but I do need Vivonics. I mean, y'all message Michael Riley. He knows everything that QVC sells. He should be QVC obsessed. I'm telling you, he absolutely should be. It'd be hilarious. I would absolutely watch it. Hey, Nick James in Puerto Rico. How's the weather in Puerto Rico today? Amazing, I'll bet. Nick James says, I have friends that have been on all of them, and they say as the dose goes up, the more you notice it. Yeah, and that's kind of why I'm staying on the lowest dose because it is working. I still have hunger. I'm still eating, but I am losing weight. But also, I didn't have 100 or more pounds to lose either. So I am trying to be realistic in what my goal was, which was to lose about 45 pounds is what I would love, 40 to 45 pounds. That would be ideal. I'd be thrilled with 35, or so pounds. Yes. I don't know that her bunions were as bad as mine. Heather says Cynthia Bailey had both of her bunions done at the same time and her feet look great. She's in flip-flops on Humble Brag. Yeah, she did. They absolutely won't do both of mine at one time. They do not want to do, and they said most insurance won't cover both at one time either. So anyways, okay, the Valley reunion films today. We just got the seating chart for it. Jax and Britney are right next to Andy Cohen. And then it's Jesse, which I almost didn't even recognize the headshot picture they used for Jesse. Let me see if I can pull it up. I was like, who the hell is that? I said, wouldn't Jesse and Michelle be next? And it is Jesse next. But Michelle is on the other side, way at the freaking bottom. I'm like, what in the actual hell? I'm going to point it to TikTok real quick. So this is the seating arrangement for the Valley reunion that's filming today. They've only shown us 3 episodes so far. There's 14, I think, episodes plus the reunion that they're filming today, but they're having to film it early since Nia and Kristen are very pregnant. So it's Andy and then Jackson, Brittany, and then Kristen, Dodie, and then Jesse, and then Luke. Like, what? And then below Luke is Nia, and then Danny, and then Michelle is last. On Zach, on what's that boy's name? Jax. On Jax's side is Jax, and then Jesse, and then Janet, and then Jason, and then, oh gosh, what's her name? Michelle? No, what's her name? The one with the girlfriend or wife. I think she's engaged or married. I can't remember. And then Zach is at the bottom. I mean, and this is the first reunion. Don't forget, they didn't do one last year. I didn't even know if they were going to get a season 2. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't real sure because, I mean, I wasn't blown away. And I definitely didn't love all the Sheena and Sheena coming on and what's her face coming on. Was it not Stassi? Yeah, Stassi came on, right? I'm getting them all mixed up now. Anyways, who is Stan? Michael Riley? Oh, Michael says we desperately need rain. It hasn't rained in Orlando. It hasn't rained in forever. I have to keep putting water in the pool. Oh yeah, we have to put water in the pool like every 3 days, if not. And we've got, I think our pool's like 25,000 gallons. So, but there's no shade for it, which I love. But all of our trees are away from our pool, so that means we don't get the leaves in them. We get the pure sun when we want it. It keeps the water warmer. But also, that means that it evaporates the water out. So anyways, which Britney? Heather says, Britney is almost unrecognizable to me. I don't know if it's her makeup, but she looks very different. Well, they all look a little. Yeah. She does look very different. I mean, she does look very different. Kristen Doty looks the same. I mean, but you're right. She does look. And Jesse, oh God, he's such a douchebag. Oh my God. No, Jesse's with a girl. Jesse is divorcing Michelle on the Valley. Patrice says, is Jesse the one who left Ohio with a husband specifically to get connected with Vanderpump Rules, the Valley people? I left Ohio. I don't know who that is. Anyone know who she's talking about? Oh my God, Michael Riley. Brittany says she looks like an old hooker. Oh my gosh. Wait, which Brittany are y'all talking about? Brittany Haynes from Jeff Lewis Live today? or Brittany Cartwright from The Valley and Vanderpump Rules? I'm totally confused who y'all are talking about. Kimberly J says Brittany was very sweet. Really? I mean, she was throwing jabs left and right at Jax Taylor. I wouldn't call her very sweet. She had a lot of makeup on. I didn't love her clown makeup. I think Alexis Bellino's makeup artist did hers. Oh, Cartwright. Oh, goodness. Yes. Christina says whoever, whichever the grammar is right, whomever did Brittany's makeup in the clubhouse did her no favors on Watch What Happens Live the other day. Oh my gosh. Yes, Ryan. We just went over the seating chart of the Valley reunion. Okay, let's chat Jeff Lewis Live. Let's chat Jeff's most hated word. Let's chat which chumps are still fighting, even though they're claiming they're not, just to make Jeff happy. Oh, they're fighting. There's no doubt about they're fighting. Okay, so the first hour was Brittany Haynes and Doug Buden. She stayed at his house last night and just raved about it. The Cooking Kibitz Airbnb, so lovely, everything to perfection. She was on. I didn't watch Cooking Kibitz last night, and I guess I could have because I wasn't at Body Pump since I'm resting and icing and stretching my feet. Can you see I'm so excited about it? But didn't Jeff and Shane say that they were going to stop by? I know Ryan stopped by. I feel like someone else they said stop by. Paul and Patrick, maybe? I can't remember who they said stop by. But anyways, she raved about it. Jeff did say they're going back to New York. Thank you, Sandy. They're going back to New York at the beginning of June for like a week. So like a Monday through a Saturday. So pretty much the whole week. And Annie and Kian are going again. And then Shane will share a room with Kian. And then Annie gets her own room. This $800 a night hotel. Like, what hotel is worth $800 a night? You just sleep there, but I guess you want security. I guess you want the finer things, but geez Louise, you're paying for 3 hotel rooms. I mean, Jeff's, and maybe he'll fly tie up. Annie gets her own room, and then Kian and Shane split a room. That's $2,400 a night. That's not what they spend. That's not all the tipping. That's not the food. I mean, geez Louise. But I keep wondering, like, why does he need to bring Annie? I guess so she can set up the videos and still, I just think financially, I mean, I guess she works for him full time now. So it makes sense why, like, give her the week off from doing videos, because she has to set up her own cameras that are Jeff's cameras so she can make the video clip for him. Now, I don't know, because obviously it depends on engagement. It depends on, I don't know how they figure out Instagram, how much they make per reel. But in general, okay, I'm looking at his reels now on Jeff Lewis. They're usually a lot. It's kind of weird. Because some of them are not even over. Okay, that's just yesterday and today's, not even over 100,000. I thought they generally, oh gosh, one got 847,000 views. The one with Countess Luann. For the most part, they're in the $100,000 to $200,000 range. I thought for views. Now I have no idea. In general, for me, I can have 800,000 views, which I rarely get. It's very rare for me. And if I look at my insights, it'll say like $3. So I'm like, I don't understand how Instagram is making it worthwhile for him to do these reels. He does put them on TikTok also, and TikTok would pay him. But again, it's not enough to pay someone full. Now, I think what you get from these reels, and this is why I hired Annie also last year or the year before, whenever it was. Yeah, the year before last. Is because you hope that it gets you new audience members. You hope that these little reels get you new people to join your podcast, new people to follow you, new people to engage with you, things like that. But I certainly wasn't paying her full time. And his views get a lot more than mine, but I just don't think TikTok and Instagram pays all that much. Let's look at his views on, Gina Kirschenheiner came up for me on that. Let's see what he gets on TikTok, because you put the same TikTok, you put the same reel up. Why is my internet being spotty? Literally type Jeff and it just sits there. Good grief. Anyways, whatever. He's bringing her to New York. And, I think a lot of times she talks now on the radio a lot more. So she's adding to and that's what he brings people around him for us, right? To add to the conversation on radio for sure. So Krista says TikTok and Instagram can pay a lot if they have lots of views. I think that has changed. I think Instagram used to pay a lot of people for views or to like put up an ad of some sort or a post. But as far as getting paid for views, he's not getting like 10,000 or anything per video. You know what I mean? Yes. Smilene says, is Jeff's Annie the same as Heather McDonald's former Annie? Yes. And I hired her first. So yes, I hired her. Then I recommended her to Chef Stu. Then Chef Stu hired her. Then he recommended her to Amy Phillips. Then I recommended her to Amy Phillips. I DM'd Amy Phillips or texted her. And then someone recommended her to Kristen Takeman. And then I think she's still working for Kristen Takeman. And then last fall, I don't know when it was, Jeff Lewis hired her and she's full-time. So yeah, Annie was Sarah's first. I mean, and that just came about organically because I asked Justin Martindale for a suggestion on somebody that does reels and thinking it would help me. It didn't help me, but anyways. And he said, oh, you need someone like Annie, like Heather McDonald had. And I said, oh, okay. So then I reach out to Annie to see if she knows anyone in Texas, only because I knew she was from Dallas. And she said, oh, I've been meaning to start my own company. Like, give me a week or two. Let me get the LLC and all this stuff. Let me get you a contract. Let me get you some numbers. She gave me 3 numbers. I went with the lowest, which was substantial. And I think I had a 3-month contract because that was the minimum contract to have with her. And because of traveling and different things, I had a bunch of videos because I was having her do 5 videos a week, just like Jeff Lewis does. And so she had some extra left over. And I think we had that into like January. So maybe a month or 2 extra. But, at the end of the day, my videos I thought were great. I loved my videos that Annie made for me. I loved them. I thought they were super cute. We were producing them together. I was having ideas. I was putting in contact, giving her, content for it and everything. But it wasn't bringing me viewers and it wasn't bringing me new, whatever. And I really wasn't making money on them. So at the end of the day, it's easier for me to, whenever I have time, just make a video of my own. Heather says, TikTok. I see Annie's time running out. He's got all the Heather McDonald tea, and now it's time for her to go. I don't know that he hired her I really don't. Am I naive? I really think that Jeff could have gotten the Heather McDonald tea from Annie via Justin Martindale, because Justin Martindale and Annie knew each other. So if she really wanted that. Now, I have no idea if Annie and Justin Martindale are friendly now that he's off the thing. But yes. Oh, I did, Teresa. I think the Monday after I came back, I talked about Matt Matthews' concert. So this Monday of this week. So whatever date that would have been. Because we went, when did we go? Gosh, when did we go to Matt Matthews? I think last Friday night we went. Wasn't my favorite concert, I said. Yes, it was Friday, April 25th. So on April 28th is whenever I talked about Matt Matthews' concert. I mean, I love seeing comedians. So just in the last few months, I've seen Taylor Tomlinson. I've seen, what's the entitled housewife? Becky Robinson. We've seen Matt Rife and Matt Matthews. And I would rate him as the 4th one. I would rate him on the bottom 4, honestly. Now, if Lisa in Kentucky is here, she gets to see him soon. She's the one that let me know about Matt Matthews. She adores him, loves everything about it, but we did both agree. We watched part of his YouTube show that he started, and it was a little weak, if you will. Like, so I don't know. I think his videos are cute. It's very different than his stand-up comedy. I thought it was a little vulgar, if you will. I thought it was a little vulgar. Wasn't my favorite. Anyways. Oh, good. D says, wait, I'll see you tomorrow, D. Got my Wise Beauty order today. I'll report back next week if it's worth the money. Yes, let us know. For sure. What was it? Code Jeff20, I think. I know. We definitely chatted about that last week. Krista says, I'm devastated that Fortune and Jax are divorcing. I can't get over it. I know it's old news. It breaks my heart. Well, and Fortune, and I have no idea when she records these things, but she did just put up a video recently of her like laying in the pool, just saying something like, oh, fun day in the pool or something. So somebody messaged me and said, oh, well, I guess Fortune got the house. Because I have to assume Jax moved out, right? Like, I don't know. Anyways. Okay. So Annie and Ken and Shane will all go to New York City for whatever that whole week is. And I guess he just goes to probably see the New York people, put his face in front of the Sirius XM people. He obviously gets a lot of housewives people come on the show whenever he's there. He can see people. He can be seen. He can see people in New York. And I think he loves New York. So I think he just loves it. Wait, what is that? I just heard about that. Maybe I saw a clip. Kimberly J says, do you guys listen to Handsome Pod? I'm knee deep with all three of the hosts, and because of my parasocial relationship with Fortune, I'm so sad. What's a parasocial relationship? Does that mean like someone who knows her who knows her? What does parasocial mean? I don't know what that means. I know. What does that mean? Mariah Joy. What former chump do you think is prospering after leaving Jeff Lewis Live? What former chump do I think is doing better after leaving Jeff Lewis Live? Better? Better in what way? I think they all benefited financially and fame. I can tell you, when Jeff has a falling out with someone, I can tell you that I get a lot of DMs from y'all saying that you're not following that person anymore. So I don't check the numbers, but I have to assume that person gets a lot less follows. They get less engagement, less DMs. Whereas if Jeff has someone regularly as a chump, if they're a comedian, if they're in a movie, if they have a special, if they have a whatever, they're going to see them. They're going to support that. If they've got products, they're going to buy it. So y'all tell me if you think anyone's doing better after leaving Jeff Lewis Live. I would venture to say no. Now, is their mental health better? Are they happier? Are they okay with the split from that friendship? What have you? Maybe so. But do I think financially they do better? No. I don't know. I saw Fortune in concert a year or two ago. Well, probably 2 or 3 years ago now. I flew out to, I think it was in Irvine. Where was her concert at? Anyways, and she said at the time, I feel like they were together like 7, 8 years. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. Definitely a while. Diane says, how long were Fortune and Jax together? Oh, Kimberly J says a parasocial relationship means it means I feel like I know her so well and she has no idea I even exist. Well, that's all of us with the celebrities, right? They were married for 6 to 7 years. Okay. Yeah, I haven't checked all my DMs. I'm very behind in the DMs. I will get to them when I can, but I definitely saw a few that said something about Britney. Anyway, so somebody said I need a break from Britney already. I couldn't figure out like why. I assumed, now I wonder, does she fly herself in? I would have to think so. But I almost thought since she lives in Tulsa or wherever she lives, she flies into Tulsa, wherever she ends up living in Oklahoma. I would think she was flying out to LA for some other reason, an audition, an event, a gala, an award ceremony or something to do another show. But so she came in last night to do Cook and Kibitz, which makes sense. I mean, she is a huge Jeff Lewis fan also. Like she's a Chump listener as well as now being a Chump. But now they said that Jeff is putting her up in a hotel tonight. So I'm like, well, why wouldn't she just fly back home? So I feel like she's doing something else. I mean, maybe press for the what's the damn show she was on? The not The Villain. What's the dang show she's on? Whatever that's Traitors. For season 3 of Traitors, but I don't know. You think? I don't consider, I mean, Lincoln the Golden says Heather McDonald is doing way better since she left Jeff Lewis Live. I don't know that I don't consider her even a regular on there. I mean, she came on maybe every 2 to 3 months. She was so not a regular. So I don't really consider her as a regular on Jeff Lewis. Wow. Teresa says Heather McDonald is making millions off of Patreon. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of people listening on Patreon. And she's got to make money from YouTube. And then her regular podcast has ads, I'm assuming. I don't know her business, but I'm assuming so. Good question. Lincoln the Golden says, asking this to Krista, but to all of us, would you love the stress of being friends with Jeff Lewis Live? Talking about Heather McDonald, her podcast and Patreon was very popular before Jeff Lewis Live even had a show. Oh, yeah. Make no bones about it. I mean, they admit that it did well for both of them to come on each other's show because they kind of talk about the same things, gossip, celebrities, what have you, kind of ish run in the same circles. But it definitely helped her coming on because I know people that started listening to Heather McDonald. And then we also know people that listened to Heather McDonald and started listening to Jeff Lewis Live because of her. So, yeah. Anyways, the second hour. Okay, this is where it gets good. Patrick and Pole are on. They're talking about all the accidents, the car accidents, how Pole got beat up, like this hate crime at his fashion show, which was awful. Also, they got their stuff. They got robbed, they said, in Europe or somewhere like months ago. So they've had a lot of things happen to them. And, Jeff Lewis always teases them, what have you. But this fallout from Chump Con, I said, I feel like something's going to happen at Chump Con. I think a lot of us were wondering that. The stress, all these people being in the same vicinity for so long, 3 days worth, what have you. Well, it sounds like it's Pole and Patrick against Joey and Reza. For sure. And still. So even though Joey and Reza this week have been asked about it and they both kind of backtracked and said, well, Pole was this way to me at the brunch and he was a little snotty with me. And then Reza is told by Joey, hey, the little one doesn't like you and the big one doesn't like you either. Pole and Patrick, or because this caller calls in and asks, I think it was Andrea, said, Patrick is like, I don't know why Reza's talking for us. Like, we don't have a problem with him, but he gives this little dig, Pole does, of saying like, oh, Reza's like wearing his little McQueen. I'm like, oh, a dig at the designer clothing he's wearing. And then Patrick digs about Joey saying, oh, we don't have a problem with him. Everything's fine. He just thinks he's still on Real Friends of WeHo. Like, oh, the dig, like seriously. I mean, and Jeff told Reza and Joey earlier this week, y'all just need to have a conversation. I'm not going to get in between it. I don't want to have the conversation for y'all. Like, it's not my fight. I'm not dealing with it. And then he basically told Pole and Patrick the same thing at the end of the second hour too. Y'all need to talk because clearly there's some drama going on still. There's clearly a few digs. And I mean, I did listen to Humble Brag. I definitely felt like Joey and Reza were given some digs about Pole and Patrick. I felt like Reza was definitely given some digs about Pole's engagement ring, the diamond, how big it was, whether it's real or not. And even though they apparently talked and everything was fine, I they still said it. You know what I mean? And Patrick and Pole, I think, still have bad feelings. I think Reza still feels like Pole was being a little snotty with asking for the pizza and then asking for napkins. Whereas when Pole says it, he was like, oh, can you please get me a piece of pizza if it's vegetarian? Can you please hand me some napkins? You know what I mean? So wait, what? I am not opposed to that. And I think they would all four go for it. Heather says, we need the four of them Jello wrestling. I mean, pay-per-view, right? You need to DM Jeff that. I'm not opposed to that at all. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Michael Riley says, none of these people would be friends if not for Jeff Lewis and the $500. I agree in a way, but I do feel like Joey is an influencer. So he goes out a lot. He meets a lot of people. It behooves him to make friends with a lot of people. And then Pole and Patrick, same thing. I don't want to call them an influencer, but, they do have a TV show. They do have a podcast. They do invite people that they meet through Jeff Lewis on the podcast. So it all kind of feeds into each other, right? With them all helping each other. Ryan says Reza was passive aggressive. I don't even know that he was passive about it. I mean, it was, it was a little aggressive. I don't know. And they're all, yeah, Cecile says Reza can be a mean girl. But when pushed, when Jeff earlier this week was like, look, I am very good friend. Thank you, Kelly, for giving me a $10 YouTube sticker. I appreciate it. You were so awesome. When Jeff earlier this week basically told Joey and Reza, look, I am very good friends with Pole and Patrick. They have been nothing but good to me. I respect them, whatever. We tease each other, but I never go over the line. In other words, Jeff is like, yeah, I say things about them scamming people. I mean, so many of y'all have sent me the links on the lawsuits against Patrick and his whatever the company, I guess he was a modeling agency, a talent agency or something. I feel like a hair was tickling me. Sorry. Anyways, and then the accidents and the lawsuits and the suing and, I think Jeff isn't oblivious to all of that, but I think in my heart of hearts, Jeff has said, if I ever thought there was something scammy truly about them, I wouldn't be friends with them. I wouldn't have them on my radio show. I wouldn't hang out with them. I wouldn't promote their coffee readings. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Thank you, Kimberly J. She's like, hey, all, hit the thumbs up. 219 people are watching and only 65 thumbs up. I'm not as creative as Charlie Charles. Exactly. Oh, wait. Lisa, I don't live in Elizabethtown. I'm here shopping at Sam's Club, going to Aldi's, went out to Old Delaney's in Bardstown, Kentucky, and got some of their hot sausage. Shut up. Why are you saying shut up, girl? Be nice. Be nice. Oh, Louise says, I still haven't forgiven Reza for being so mean to Asa. I love Asa. See, and I don't really know who that is. Like, I know it's from the show, but I don't know who that is. I didn't watch Shaws of Sunset enough to know. You know what I mean? So, don't know. Don't know who that is. Oh, Lisa says, shut up is for the best hot sausage in the world. That sounds so good with a little bit of mustard. Oh my God. My husband wanted to go out to dinner tonight and he was saying all these places. And I was like, he just gave me my shot last night. So I'm like, what else have I had today? I had, on Fridays I meet with my mentee. So I've been trying, I'm trying to decide to go back to intermittent fasting and give up breakfast because I think I'm eating more calories than I need to. But anyways, and it's not hard for me to give up breakfast or at least delaying it. But today I had, what all have I had? I don't even know what I've had. I don't know what I've had. Well, it'll tell me I'm tracking my food. It tells me what I've had. I've had 768 calories so far at 3:00, almost 4:00, Texas time. I've had, these 2 sausage sticks, these little turkey sausage sticks from Walmart, 6 meatballs, that I heated up in the microwave. Oh, I'm going to eat some dark cherries later. They're thawing out right now. So that's already on there, but I haven't eaten them yet. What was that? Oh, my tomatoes, my little cherry tomatoes, a protein shake, some berries. Oh, and a Greek yogurt in a smoothie. So that's what I've had today. 71 grams of protein so far today. But anyways, he was like, do you want to go eat Tex-Mex? Do you want, and then he was naming all the, he was texting me all these restaurant names, and he even mentioned, oh my gosh, do y'all still have a Black Eyed Pea restaurant? He even mentioned that. He was like, Luby's, this place in Pearland called Magnolia Cajun. I'm like, no, that place is greasy. Papado. He's like, Papado's healthy. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like, they put butter all over that fish. And he's like, I could cook something for us. Anyways, I was like, I'm not even thinking about food. I'll figure it out. But I'm like, I've got makeup on. I flat iron my hair. Like, I need to go out, right? I'll take my bra off, sling on a t-shirt and shorts, and be good to go the rest of the night. Oh my gosh. Lisa says, you're so good. You are so good to my best friend, Sarah. Peace and love to you. Thank you again. Y'all are so sweet talking to each other. I love that. Stony says, Sarah, I have a question on the legal custody thing with Monroe. Does that mean that Jeff will make all decisions and doesn't need to pay Gage child support? So I made a video about this yesterday. So that's on my social media everywhere. I don't think 100% legal custody has anything to do with physical custody. So Gage will have no changes unless they make a separate agreement, no changes to his child support, and no changes to his physical custody. In other words, he'll still get the 1 week on, and Jeff will get the 1 week on with Monroe. What legal custody does is means right now, Gage and Jeff have to decide together on things like her schooling, her medical. Now, it's not as nitpicky as like I said, the example yesterday. If Jeff wants to take Monroe to SeaWorld and Gage doesn't agree with the politics of SeaWorld, he can't tell Jeff not to take her to SeaWorld. He can request him not take her, but he can't affect that. What he can do is call the dentist that Jeff has made appointments for her to see about if she needs braces early on or not, and cancel the appointment that Jeff has said Gage has done. We do not know any of these for facts. We only know what Jeff tells us on the radio. Okay. But now the last thing that was the straw that broke the camel's back for Jeff is saying that Gage doesn't want her to go to see her therapist at all anymore. So we don't really know that many details about it. I mean, at first it went from, okay, let her have a therapist so she has her own person to talk to. It's not Daddy Gage. It's not Daddy Jeff. You know, her own person to talk about her own issues with co-parenting, issues with having two dads, any issues in life, right? And then at one point it was going well because Gage got to pick the therapist that he wanted is the one that got picked, right? And Jeff was okay with it. Like, she seems to like this therapist. All things are good. And then at one point, Gage even says that he was having some issues at his house with Monroe and wanted her to now see the therapist once a week. Jeff said, absolutely fine. Jeff pays for that. So I think it's in the agreement that Gage gets child support and then Jeff pays for all the medical stuff. I think it used to be that they split her private school, but I think when Gage had the issue of wanting a layaway plan for schooling for his part of it, Jeff just went ahead and paid it. And I feel like Jeff just pays for her school 100% now. I have no idea what the truth is in that, though. But the legal custody means Jeff would not have to get Gage's insight or permission to make her a doctor's appointment. He wouldn't have to ask Gage anything about her medical stuff. Then he could go forward with her therapy again. And Jeff has made it very clear he is not going to stop with this. He said, look, last time things got a little better, and then we did this little mediation, and then we kind of agreed, whatever. He's like, I don't care what I spend. I'm going to get legal custody. I'm going to fight to get legal custody. So again, it has nothing to do with child support. It has nothing to do with physical custody. It only affects Jeff being able to make all the decisions in regard to her schooling and in regards to medical. So that's how I understand it. But I've never been involved in that as a daughter, and I've never been involved in it as a wife or a co-parent because I've never been in that situation. Hopefully I never am. Stoney says, seems to me that Gage has something to hide if he's paranoid about Monroe talking freely to an independent therapist. I mean, I don't know. I would like to think anybody would be okay. What does that mean? What is that? Michael Riley says The Brutalist with Adrian Brody. Is that an actor? Who's Adrian Brody? Is she the one in that movie, like from the Hulk? Or what was that scary movie where she came up? Adrian Brody. A female, right? A girl? Anyways. Yes, Margaret says, I'm curious of these nasty texts that Gage sent. Yeah. Because I feel like, they had this, whatever that app is, Family Wizard or whatever it was called, where, they would talk on there. Well, Jeff is like, look, I'm very clear. I learned long ago not to put anything in text. Well, he didn't learn it soon enough because don't forget a couple of Decembers ago, Jeff got caught texting Gage when he was dating Chef Stu, wanting more than just dad stuff, like more than just co-parenting, right? He admits, look, I wanted us to get along. I wanted us to be a family again for Monroe's sake. So he was definitely flirting for some little action there. But he said he learned not to put things in writing, but he said Gage was saying very similar things. He just knew not to put everything in writing. So, Adrian Brody is a man. He's the guy with the big nose that's dating Harvey Weinstein's ex-wife. Well, how was that lady married to Harvey Weinstein besides money? And they had a kid or two together, didn't they? No, and I don't think he's allowed. And I think even Jeff knows not to touch that boundary. Tiva Tambo says, what issue is Monroe having? Did Jeff say? I don't think it was that at all. I feel like he said I feel like all he ever alluded to was the stress over, she could probably sense the tension between Jeff and Gage when there was drop-offs, and things that Gage was saying about Jeff, or that Jeff was trying to use other words like, I think he had what was the nickname he had for Gage? Oh gosh. Anyways, but different things. And it's like, okay, like she knows who you're talking about. She's 8.5 years old. You know what I mean? Anyways, somebody mentioned the White Lotus. Okay. Did y'all hear about this? So the people that were, what's their names? Walter Groggins and then Amy, the one with the teeth. I guess they might have had a little fling on set, and now they're definitely not even friends. And so there's been all these rumors that they were having this feud, but neither one of them had confirmed it. Well, now he just did an interview yesterday, and like 2 or 3 times he shut it down with his publicist. And he was like, I am not talking about her. I'm not talking about anything related to that. And I was like, oh, so she had a problem. Amy had a problem and felt it was mean and rude and disrespectful when Saturday Night Live made fun of her teeth. And apparently Walter Goggins said something like, ooh, so funny or something like that. So I don't know. Who knows? Oh, that's true. Stoney says, what issue is Monroe not having? Vomiting on vacation, hiding things, lying. What's she lying about? Crying, codependent, insecure, anxiety attacks. I mean, so yes, Walter Goggins and Amy Lou, what's her last name? Whatever her name is. Anyways, Walter G. Okay, the word that Jeff hates. Did y'all catch this today? Have you ever heard him say it? Jeff hates the word clammy. Like he's fine with moist. He's fine with, penis. He's fine with every word. But clammy is the word that he hates? Like, really? That's very interesting. Very interesting. I did watch What Happens Live with Lisa Vanderpump. She was super shady yet again about Kristen Doty. I mean, she was like, she is pregnant. I guess I have to be a little nice to her, but that's the only, clearly doesn't love her. She clearly loves Stassi again, giving her a second chance. Said again, pretty much the same thing she said on Jeff Lewis Live yesterday. Now, I wonder if she flew because Andy was flying today, or I'm sorry, Andy was flying Thursday to go to do the Valley today in LA, which he is in. But Lisa Vanderpump was in LA yesterday live with Jeff Lewis. So I don't know if they recorded this and then Andy took a late flight. I don't really know because when you can't really know. Well, yeah, they do pre-records with audiences because the Jeff Lewis that I went to was recorded on a Monday, but it aired on a Wednesday night. So the Bethany Frankel and Jeff Lewis Watch What Happens Live, that thanks to caller Annette, shout out Annette, that invited me to go to that show with her and her daughter and their friends. It aired 2 days later. So that was a live audience, but it was a pre-record. So I don't know. Stoney says the word clammy isn't bad, but shaking a clammy hand is super icky. Oh, and I feel so bad when people are like, oh my gosh, my hands are so, I know. Louise says, why wouldn't Gage want Monroe to talk to a psychologist? Is he afraid of what she will say about him? I don't know, because I don't think they're allowed. I don't think the counselor tells them what she says unless it was like she wants to harm herself or harm others. You know what I mean? Stassi is hosting the reunion? Really? For what? Oh, I don't know anything about who she is. Oh, okay. LTD says it had to be pre-recorded. Lisa Vanderpump was on Mark and Kelly's show earlier this week. Okay, so they probably recorded that. He said happy Thursday or whatever, but hosting which reunion? The Vanderpump Villa when it comes out? I don't know. Oh, Kimberly J says, I think Kristen and Lisa Vanderpump have some underlying hidden agenda. I bet Kristen has a spinoff with LVP next. You do? Remember how much LVP hated Stassi so much? The lingering shit with them is sus. Yeah. But she also had a lot to say about Sheena because apparently Sheena is talking shit about her. And Katie, she had a lot to say. And then I guess Sheena is teasing a book that she's writing, and she's like, I'm going to spill everything about Lisa Vanderpump. And Lisa Vanderpump goes, well, I guess she's going to talk about me because she has nothing else to say. That was like, ouch. Oh, no way. Heather says, I see a Daddy's Dearest book in Monroe's future. Anyways. Well, if you were in the Houston area, make sure to join us tomorrow at the Chumpette Meetup. The information is in the Sarah from Texas Facebook group, or send me an email at asksarahfromtexas@gmail.com. If you are a Royal Chumpette subscriber on Instagram, it's $4.99 a month. You can start or stop anytime. And we do an Instagram live Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. So we get to chat, hang out, get to know each other better, ask me anything. And then all of those prior ones, if you just join, are up. So you can watch all of that too. So, and also I think on Instagram, they put up as a highlight, it says exclusive. So anything that has that little purple crown right there, you can click on that. And that literally shows every Instagram story that I've done since having subscriber content. So anyways, $4.99 a month. Okay, have a fantastic day. Thank you for joining me live. If you're listening as a replay, make sure to hit the thumbs up button and make sure you're following me everywhere at Sarah from Texas, and give me a 5-star rating and review at your podcast at Sarah from Texas. Bye, Chumpettes. If y'all want to pop over to TikTok, we will be on there for a few more minutes at Sarah from Texas on TikTok. Bye, y'all. Oops.